Hmm. Test. Appears to be working. Good evening, fantasy foot boys and girls. Welcome back to the GFL Weekly Pre-Wind, the show where we look back forward at the happenings in the Gorilla Fantasy League. It's another rare solo show tonight, so I'm sorry for all you fans of anybody but me. But it's just me tonight. And without further ado, let's look at this last week's results. We'll start, for some reason, it's rivalry week, where it was. I think this is just a preset thing that I can change, and I just never have, so it's randomized. Because I wouldn't consider a lot of these teams to be rivals. You know, maybe Schmidt Show and Drunk Santa, which we'll get to. The rest of it, some people that I've never met before. Yahoo has a mind of its own. Life finds a way. Yours truly taking down Ditk in a box. More bad luck from Ditk in a box, losing yet another wide receiver. Back-to-back weeks with the wide receiver on the roster of Ditk in a box, putting up 0 points. After a really strong start, injuries have dropped them to 4-6, but 4-6 is not dead, as we've talked about this year in the GFL. Keep fighting, Ditka in a box. Cooter's Crew takes down Patty Cakes. Patty Cakes, what is their streak now? They have lost 2 straight. Okay, not as bad as I thought, but they dropped to 3-7. Only 3-7 team in the league. The before referenced Drunk Santa falling to Schmidt Show, who comes up just short of a high score. And we'll talk more about that matchup later. But Drunk Santa also dropping to 4-6, but not dead. New and improved Jungle Humpers taking down Ain't No Wag. Ain't No Wag competing with Boner and Sweatpants for Rookie of the Year. Does not look like Ain't No Wag's going to take it home thus far, but this thing ain't over yet. Like I said, 4-6, still in it. New and improved Jungle Humpers moving up to second place at 6-4. Timken Terrors remaining in first place despite one of their poorest outings this season. Without their cheat code Jamar Chase, didn't matter. Boner and Sweatpants having at least they got 86.66. That's fun. Other than that, though, pretty pathetic outing for them. Everybody that watched that game on Monday night was probably enraged, but not as enraged as Boner and Sweatpants. Sorry, Coach Dalton. And then, high score of the week, Doobie Ashtray taking loss number 6 as well. 4-6, that's the theme this week. To Robo Pearson. Robo Pearson having one of their more solid seasons in their GFL career. Also, the second team this season to have multiple high scores. So congrats to Robo Pearson dropping 164. Underrated pick this year would be Devon Achane, right? I think everybody was just down on Miami, but he seems to be a safe bet every week, similar to Jonathan Taylor for the Schmidt Show. But they get their second $20. They're halfway to paying for their fee for next year. And that takes us to pre-grets of the week. I've got a couple. Jaden Higgins for... I didn't write down who they play for. I think it was Boner and Sweatpants. No, incorrect. Man, so well prepared. Let's say Patty Cakes. Yes. Jaden Higgins. No, I don't know why he would have started Jaden Higgins over Michael Pittman Jr., who's been quite good this year. But that's what happened. Michael Pittman putting up less than 3 points. Jaden Higgins, stick him in there. He gets the win. Pre-gret. I added one for a winning team, only because it cost them $20. Great outing for the Schmidt show, but if they had not played Justin Fields, who is, I think he's bipolar because he's either putting up 2 or 30 points every week. But instead of Justin Fields, he could have played Mac Jones of all people. Mac Jones. Who would have thought Mac Jones could be a fantasy asset this year? Would have given him the high score. He would have won regardless because Drunk Santa had a little too much this week. His time is coming. Santa's. Drunk Santa. Okay, this week's oh shit stat of the week comes from the mind of the league statistician, Coach Schmidt, which I think he's hyping up his team a little bit as well. But as I'm sure a lot of you saw, if you didn't watch the game, Jonathan Taylor went ham once again, putting up almost 50 points on Sunday morning, which got Coach Schmidt, as you know, to 157.18 points. He pointed out you could have removed that 50-point outing from Jonathan Taylor, and he still would have won. So sorry to rub it in, Drunk Santa, but I thought that was an oh shit stat. That was worthy. So thank you to the league statistician for that. Standings. As I talked about, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 4 teams there towards the top. Tim Contreras, as I said, is leading the pack. And then the Brandenburg division, look at that. Look at all these 4 and 6 teams. 4 and 6 teams. There's only one team currently in the playoffs on this side of the bracket. That's not to say they're bad teams. A lot of them have outscored some of these 6 and 4 teams on the aggregate, but they've just had some bad luck. So I've said it before. I think it's possible an under 500 team makes the playoffs. But this is a big week. Some of these 4 and 6 teams need to make some headway on these 6 and 4 and 5 and 5 teams. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to dig yourself out of that going into the playoffs. I didn't set a matchup of the week. I thought I'd do something new this week. So you guys let me know what you think of this. I'm going to choose winners of each matchup based on whether I think their quarterback, let's say, could tie their own shoes. Because, quarterbacks take a lot of hits to the head these days. So some of them are derpier than others. Lifeline Zelway, new and improved Jungle Humpers. I've got to go with new and improved Jungle Humpers. Not only can Justin Herbert probably tie his own shoes, he probably would have to tie Sam Darnold's for him. Sam Darnold is the derp of the derp. He's got that arm talent, but sometimes I watch him and wonder, what's he doing? Why is he doing that? Next up, we got Cooter's Crew, Robo Pearson. We're going Caleb Williams, Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield absolutely does not. I think he could tie his shoes. He doesn't want to. He probably wears slip-ons or makes someone else do it. He doesn't have time. He's too busy, throwing rockets. Caleb Williams not only can tie his own shoes, but he puts little designs on them. Like when I was in grade school, people would clip things to their shoes, to give them some decoration. I think Caleb Williams has got little ninjas and flowers clipped to his shoes like a toddler. So I'm going to go with Cooter's Crew in that matchup. Ditch in a Box, Tim Contreras, Drake May, Patrick Mahomes. This game ends in a tie. Doobie Ashtray, Ain't No Wag. We got CJ Stroud, Jalen Hurts. There's no way Jalen Hurts can still tie his own shoes, mainly because of his back issues from getting smashed in the ass over and over every year by those guys during the tush push. So by default, CJ Stroud wins that matchup. So got to go with Doobie Ashtray there. Drunk Santa, patty cakes. Trevor Lawrence, I'm not even sure he owns shoes. He wears flip flops because he doesn't even know how to put his own shoes on. At this point, I'm not sure he even remembers he was the number one overall pick. Yeah, but Tua, I'm not even sure he knows he has legs at this point. So this is a tough one. You know what? I'm gonna have to go with the guys in the super flex position. So I'm gonna go with Lamar Jackson because Jared Goff is just premium Sam Darnold. So he's in the same boat. So Drunk Santa taking that one. And last but not least, we have a couple of 6-4 teams. If I was choosing a matchup of the week, I would probably go with this one, but I'm not. I'm doing whatever this is. Schmidt Show, Boner and Sweatpants. We got Jacoby Brissett and Jordan Love. I feel like not only does Jacoby Brissett tie his own shoes, but he wears like two-tone shoes that you would see, a grandpa wearing to church on Sundays back in the 80s. He's an interesting guy, I'm sure, and he reads books because none of these other guys read books. Jordan Love, what can you say about Jordan Love? Anyways, Schmidt Show probably takes that one without Jonathan Taylor, mind you. That'll be an interesting game to see how that plays out without his cheat code. Anyways, that's the matchups for this week. Let me know in the chat. Did you think that was dumb as fuck? Or was that fun? Maybe I would refine my process there. Pick something a little different every week. That was just off the top of my dome. I was just trying to fill time. When you're doing this show alone, you don't have anybody to bounce, ideas off of. And you just got to fill time, This is what streamers do. They just fill time until we're all